Familicide is when someone commits a murder or suicide, often killing their children, spouse, siblings, or parents, followed by killing themselves. The first case of familicide was published in the late 1600s. There were a series of unusually clustered incidents spaced over 6 decades committed by men who were fathers. In every case, the fathers would use their axes and slaughter their wives and children. These familicides occurred over a wide geographic area. The social settings of the crimes were also varied widely. The very low number of murder-suicide incidents makes it hard for researchers to understand exactly what role the economy plays in these cases. What is known is that the economic distress is a factor, but it is only one of the several factors that trigger a man to murder his family. Although there are a ton of cases on familicide, today I will be introducing you to two of the most brutal and heinous murderers who massacred their whole family. Starting with Steven Seppel, who is ranked number 1 on the list of the 10 notorious cases of familicide. In Iowa City, former bank executive Steven Seppel was charged with embezzling over $500,000 from his bank. He pleaded not guilty and was out on bail when sometime during the night of March 23rd and the morning of March 24th, 2009, Seppel decided that this was the end of the line for him and his family. First, he beat his 42-year-old wife, Cheryl, to death with a baseball bat. He took his 4 adopted children, Ethan, Seth, Mira, and Eleanor, to the garage and tried to poison them with carbon monoxide. When that didn't work, he beat them to death the same way as their mother. Seppel drove to a nearby park and unsuccessfully tried to kill himself. He then called 911, directing police to go to his address, but instead of turning himself in peacefully, he then drove his car into a concrete pillar on the Interstate 80 and died. Next is Christian Longo, who is ranked number 5 on the list of 10 notorious cases of familicide. Christian Longo, raised in Michigan by Jehovah's Witness parents, lived a happy childhood. Longo was actively involved in his church and would attend daily with friends and family. Longo was married to Mary Jane Baker at the age of 19. In 1997, they had their first child, Zachary, followed by Sadie in 1998 and Madison in 1999. Mary Jane quit her job and started the life she always dreamt of, being a full-time mother and wife. Christian seemed to want the best for his family, but instead of working hard for it, he started forging checks and stole a minivan. He also ran up debts under a false name and started selling stolen construction equipment. He was eventually arrested and thrown out of the Jehovah's Witnesses. While on probation, Longo liquidated his assets and fled with his family. However, because of his extravagant spending, the family found themselves broke, and Longo took a job at a Starbucks in Newport, Oregon. Once again, he found himself living beyond his means. He rented a luxury condo for $12,000 a month, which was exactly how much he made at Starbucks. On December 19, 2001, 5-year-old Zachary's body was found up on the shores of Yaquina Bay. A short time later, 3-year-old Sadie was found dead, both children drowned. The bodies of 24-year-old Mary and 2-year-old Madison were found in a suitcase in the same bay. Mary Jane had been beaten and mother and son have been strangled to death. On the day the last bodies were found, Longo boarded a plane going from San Francisco to Cancun, Mexico. Now the lead suspect and on the FBI's 10 most wanted list, Christian Longo was found in Cancun, Mexico, where he had taken on the identity of travel writer Michael Finkel. Taken back to the U.S. in January 2002, Longo stood trial in March 2003, during which he claimed to have only killed Madison and Mary Jane, pinning the murders of his other 2 children on Mary Jane. During the trial and the period leading up to it, Longo was in touch with Finkel, whom Longo had hoped would write about him and help him in his exoneration. In the end, Finkel, at this point living in a state of journalistic disgrace, have been caught fabricating a New York Times Magazine cover story in 2002, did write about Longo, but Longo was found guilty and sentenced to death in April 2004. The book Finkel wrote in 2005 has since been turned into a 2015 movie starring James Franco as Christian Longo and Jonah Hill as Michael Finkel. In 2011, Longo admitted to killing his family. He He remains on death row in Marion County, Oregon. Although the total number of familicide cases are quite rare, they are the most common form of mass killings. Both of these men mentioned committed heinous acts. In the case of Suppel and Longo, they were well aware of their crimes and were able to comprehend what they did. The factors that motivated their crimes were their financial problems.